Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be studying principal parts of verbs 1. In the first part, we're going to learn what principal parts are, and in the second part, common mistakes that we make when using the principal parts of verbs. So, what do we call principal parts? We call principal parts of a verb form to the forms how a verb can be found or conjugated. There are four principal parts for a verb: the present, present participle or ing verbs, the past and past participle. We have here the examples. We have do, doing is the present participle, do is the base or the present. We have the auxiliary, did is past, and done is participle, have done with the auxiliary. Then we have look, that is the base, that's the present. Then looking for present participle with the auxiliary. Then looked for past, and looked with auxiliary for past participle. So these are the principal parts that are going to help us to build up the tenses in English. It doesn't mean that we have just four tenses in English, but there are six tenses that we are going to study later. Well, it depends who you study this with. You could learn not 6 tenses but 12. But in the book we are using, we learn 6 tenses. So a Becca's book uses and teaches 6 tenses. So let's start with this. As I said, principal parts are the forms how a verb can be found and or conjugated. But we have two great kinds of verbs. We have regular and irregular verbs. So we're going to study that. How do we classify a verb as regular or irregular? It depends on how they form their past and past participle. Regular verbs, the ones we have here, as we could imagine just with reading regular, something like normal, something following a rule. So we have a common rule for regular verbs. They form the past and past participle by adding ed, d, or t to the base form. So we have here some examples. Work, we add ed, worked, and worked with the auxiliary have. Then cost, if you see we added just the d, and cost with the auxiliary have. Then we have jump, jumped, and jumped with the auxiliary have. Cook, cooked, and cooked with the auxiliary have. So these are the regular verbs. We can use the ed, d, or t to form the past and past participle of these verbs. But what is going to happen with irregular verbs? So these are special verbs, not not a common verb like regular verbs. Why? Because they don't form the past and past participle using ed, d, or t at the end, but they do it in different ways. Let's see the examples. We have draw, that's the first one, and then we have drew in past, and drawn, have drawn for past participle. Then we have go, present, went for past, and gone with auxiliary for past participle. Take, took, and taken. Have, had, and had. Okay, so here we have three forms that we can find of a verb. Regular and irregular verbs show us here the three forms we can find a verb. But we said that there are four principal parts. So we are missing the present participle. How are we going to form the present participle? This one is a piece of cake. Regular and irregular verbs, both of them form the present participle, adding ing to the present, adding ing to the base, to the verb base. So let's see some examples for regular verbs. Cause, causing, feel, feeling, cook, cooking, study, studying, capture, capturing. So and irregular verbs we have go, going, sit, sitting, think, thinking. Probably you have noticed that we have some minimal spelling changes when adding ing. So we have some spelling changes when we add ing or ed. We have already studied this, and you can look for the videos I have uploaded talking about how to add suffixes. But let's talk about this in a hurry right now. The three things we have to remember for changing the spelling before adding ing or ed are these. First one, remove the silent e ending before adding ing. The examples we have give, giving. If you noticed, that e was removed. Take, taking, taking. So the e was removed again. Leave, leaving. Make, making. So remember that before adding ing to a verb having a silent e ending, we're going to remove that e and we are going to write the suffix ing. Then change that y to I if it is preceded by a consonant and at the end before adding ed. So what does it mean? We're going to change the y to I and then we're going to add ed when the y is preceded by a consonant. If you see y and we have the consonant, then we add, so we change the y to I and we add ed. Spy, spied. Then again here we have the y and a consonant. So supply and supplied. We change the y to I and then we add ed. Again here, deny, denied. Hurry, hurried. So remember, we are going to change the y to I at the end before adding ed when the y is preceded by a consonant, but not when it is preceded by a vowel. When the y is preceded by a vowel, we just add the ed suffix. Now we are going to double the final consonant if there is just one and it is preceded by a single vowel. So when we have a verb that has just one consonant at the end and this consonant is preceded by a vowel, if you notice, single vowel. Oh, yep. Not two or three vowels here, but just one. We're going to double the last consonant before adding ed or ing. So that's what hop, hopped, plan, planning. If you see, we doubled the n. Pen, penned, flip, flipping. So I hope this is going to be helpful, and if you have any doubt about how to do or how to add the suffixes, you can look for the videos that I have uploaded, and I hope they are going to help you. So this is the end. This is all for today, and see you next time.